Barakim Habarim, welcome to Messianic Moment, where God has no religion because, well, he doesn't. And today is the 23rd day of January 2024. And I'd let you know that my website is back up, but it's not pretty. I still have to get the themes and make it look pretty. But thank God that we were able to recover pretty much everything. Well, how many times have you heard that the best way to get to know someone is to walk a mile in their shoes? That's an old adage, and it really makes sense. But with all the hatred in the world, I got to think that no one is wearing any shoes at all. Oh, time out for a second. Let's do some administrative stuff. Please don't forget to subscribe. On the website, there's a subscribe button in the right-hand margin, and here on YouTube channel, and like my Facebook page. Click on the notifications and ring that bell so you're informed each time I post a new message. I also have a Facebook discussion group. It's called Just God's Word. So I invite you to join, but please, you got to click that you agree to the rules or I can't let you in. And if you like what you get here, you'll like my books, which are available through the website link, or go to Amazon, enter my name in the search field, and please share these messages with everyone you know. All right, let's get to today's message, which is pretty simple. The way to learn how to hate someone is to never get to know them. And that is not relating to a person, but to a people, a religion, a creed, race, or even a sexual orientation. I'm not saying that we have to agree with any particular lifestyle choice or belief system, but we are more likely not to hate or act in a bigoted manner against someone if we get to know them. The worst thing we can do to our children is to bring them up in an atmosphere of bigotry. And that comes solely from ignorance. Not the type of ignorance from not having an education, but the ignorance that comes from refusing to accept that other people can be different than you are. In Israel, a constant hotspot of hatred. Everyone I know who has lived there or even visited will tell you that life there between the Arabs and the Jews is fine. It's not at all like what we're told it is by this yellow journalistic media we have today. The Arabs living in Israel get along perfectly well with the Jewish population. In truth, the Arabs living in Syria and Jordan and other surrounding countries, they want to go to Israel because, unlike in their own country, in Israel there are jobs and they aren't persecuted or mistreated. In fact, the Arabs who live and work in Israel are granted the same rights and pay for work that the Israelis get. Can we here in the United States say the same thing for our legal immigrants? The hatred, it has to stop with our children. We must not teach them our bigotries, but instead allow them to discover on their own what other people are like. You may say, oh yeah, that's really Pollyanna, Steve. And, you're right. It's because the parents are the ones who are the cause of the children growing up bigoted, and I can't really see this happening. I can't see parents who are bigoted not teaching their children bigotry. And, as communistic as this sounds, I think the only way to stop racial hatred and religious bigotry is to get the kids away from the parents before they can be influenced. At least, maybe for just one or two generations, and raise them in a kibbutz-like environment where they are cared for by people who are not hateful. They will grow up with other children, black, white, Jewish, Arab, Christian, whatever, without any forced religious upbringing, but allowing them to have access to the religion their parents had while being able to investigate everybody else's religion at the same time. Yes, I know. How can I, a United States citizen, and more than that, a former Marine Corps officer, think like a communist? Well, I don't. Not normally. But there is just so much racial tension from bigotry in the USA and so much religious hatred in the Middle East that, I can't see any other way to resolve this without drastic measures being taken. And I can think of no more a drastic measure than to separate children from their parents. But hey, if that's what it takes to form a society free of bigotry and hatred, well, isn't it worth it? I mean, the hardest thing to overcome with bigotry is that the bigots believe the people they hate are the cause of the racial or religious tensions. You know, whites feel blacks have created their own subculture and don't want to be part of society. And blacks feel they have been subjugated to the point of losing their ethical and cultural identity, being forced to be absorbed into a white society. And they're both right, I mean, to a degree. This is a problem that exists in America for all cultures. People some time ago, I don't know, for some reason, they decided they didn't want to be just plain old Americans. No, they want to be something American. They were African American, Italian American, Chinese American, European American, whatever. Yet they're living in America. I mean, if you live in a country, shouldn't you be a member of that country and only that country? You know, America used to be called the melting pot, where all different cultures came to be a collective culture called Americans. Not anymore, I am sad to say. And I believe this is part of the reason, if not the main reason, for the racial and religious tensions in the U.S. So let's bring this all together. Obviously, there will never be a separation of children from parents in a free society. So we need to teach children in the schools and workplaces that everyone is the same under the skin, hoping that this will offset any bigoted attitudes they may have learned from their parents. The history of America and how things are in Israel between Jews and Arabs there today, well, it proves that different religions and races can work together as a society with the same goals and desires without having to hate each other or lose their cultural identification. It's up to each and every one of us to work towards this goal, and especially you parents out there who are hearing this message. Teach your children that hatred is wrong, and that if they feel that they do not like someone or a group of people, tell them to take the time to get to know them. And if that happens, well, not only will the children become better people themselves, but they'll gain knowledge and new friendships. All right, well, that's it for today. So the Yitrot and Baruch Hashem.